if you can hear me in the back. Can you guys hear me? Where can we reorient that speaker? Possibly, Jeremy? Can you reorient that speaker? Can you hear a little bit better now?
Do the same with the other one.
You know, do the same with the other one?
Yes.
Can you, Matt, can you hear? A little bit. Okay. How's that? All right. You're welcome. You know, the good thing, I'm sorry that you missed Dean Watt, but you didn't miss anything from my speech, so it's okay. We're going to continue now with the awards and get started with a brief comment from one of our sponsors. Dean Watt, I think, did a wonderful job, and I'd like to say that this entire Enterprise Award show is made possible by the kind donation of Service Bank and of the Spiro board members. We've done a number of special things for the students we feel like this year that is really out of the ordinary, and it's because of sponsors like Service that have allowed us to do that. So I'm going to invite Paul Clark to come up for Service and say a few words.
Thank you everybody for coming along and sitting there while we figured out the technology. It's exciting for Certis to be at this event. Entrepreneurialism is a vogue term. There is a great deal of expectation on entrepreneurs now to not only do what they've done in the past, develop new ideas and bring new products to market, but also to create enough wealth to pay for our obligations, to create enough jobs to employ all the people that need them, and to add significant social change and improvement. So the expectations on entrepreneurs have never been higher. The expectations for banks probably not been lower, ever. So you're probably wondering why a representative of the industry whose only entrepreneurial challenge is to figure out more creative ways to lose billions of dollars or upset Elizabeth Warren and Barney Frank is standing here as a representative of a company sponsoring the Entrepreneur Awards. I just want to give a quick 30-second background on why we're doing this. Certis Bank, like many of the ideas we're going to hear today, was just an idea on paper 4 years ago. Now it's a $2 billion bank with 750 employees, with branches across the southeast, with buildings going up all over town. And I think it's testimony to the fact that you can find entrepreneurs in every walk of life doing all kinds of different things. It's Certis Bank's activity in South Carolina, particularly on the entrepreneur side, mostly obviously is focused on financing small businesses. Certis Bank last year was the largest provider of small business administration loans to small businesses in South Carolina. And this year we're setting up the only SBIC fund, which is a small business investment fund, that's going to be based in South Carolina. So the sponsorship of the Enterprise Awards is right in line with the mission of Certis Bank. And we're very honoured to be able to be involved with the program and do a small part to assist these entrepreneurs in the development of their ideas. And we look forward to working with them going forward as they turn these ideas into reality, into bottom line or into social impact or into whatever they have the vision for their business. I'd like to say a couple of things I think on behalf of the judges before we get going. First of all, congratulations on getting through this far in the program. Clearly your business acumen, your entrepreneurial spirit is only matched by your capacity for hard work and perseverance. So congratulations from us first on getting here. Secondly, all the people on the judging panel have seen tons of business ideas over the course of their careers. Good ones, terrible ones, successful ones, ones that have turned out to be total disasters. And it's very hard, a lot of the time, to figure out which category a particular business idea is going to fall into. And you've only got 3 minutes to convince us that you are in the going to be successful and the good idea category. So we don't envy you, But we do have high expectations. We understand that you guys are the 18 most entrepreneurial teams in South Carolina. So we want to make certain we're confident that you can match our high expectations for that. And the last thing I want to say is if any of your ideas involve any kind of voice amplification technology that works, then you've got my vote. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Paul is the Senior Vice President of Mergers and Acquisitions for Certus Bank and Director of Certus Capital Partners. I'm going to introduce the judges now. I'll start with Paul. Paul is responsible for identifying and acquiring banks and other institutions that complement Certus's mission to better serve its communities. Paul is also a director and founder of Certus Capital Partners, an investment fund based in Greenville that will provide junior capital to help develop small businesses in the Southeast. Certus Capital Partners is expecting to be the only licensed SBIC fund based in South Carolina. Next is, if you guys would be sure to raise your hands so that folks can see you. Next is Greg Hillman, Director, SCRA Launch. Since joining SCRA in 2007, Mr. Hillman and the SC Launch team have reviewed hundreds of technology company applicants, ushered over 200 candidates successfully into the program as clients, and mentored over 55 portfolio companies in the program to obtain initial, follow-on, or external funding. He is also founder and CEO of Integrated Business Solutions, Inc., and has held executive management roles in numerous well-known technology firms, including DuPont and Cincinnati Bell. Thank you, Greg. Next is Tammy Johnson, founder and owner of Liquid Catering, Inc. Tammy has been working in the hospitality industry for 10 years, holding positions ranging from bartender to restaurant manager. Her extensive experience allowed her to identify and address the need for alcoholic beverage catering, leading her to found Liquid Catering in 2011, quickly growing to serve over 300 events per year. She recently expanded her business by opening the Old Cigar Warehouse, a 7,700 square foot event venue in the West End. Next is Bob Condamori, serial entrepreneur, co-founder and board member of Technia Inc. Entrepreneurial passion is what drives Bob. He enjoys working hand in glove with entrepreneurs, visionaries, and game changers, using his extensive operating and venture experience, successes and failures to help maneuver and shape businesses with the goal of making a positive impact in people's lives. He is currently working as co-founder and board member of Technia Inc. and previously founded or served as CEO at businesses too numerous to list. Next is Barbara Lee, Chairman of the Board and Chief Executive Officer, GF Lee Company, Inc. GF Lee was founded in 1917 and manufactures close tolerance component parts for industrial machinery and equipment worldwide. In addition to serving as CEO, Barbara is a committed community volunteer focused on issues ranging economic development and is active in local, state, and national legislation affecting manufacturing and business issues. She also serves on numerous boards and councils. Next is Scott Myers, CEO and President of EcoDual LP. Scott is an established entrepreneur with proven business experience, starting and growing 5 high-tech companies in robotic, medical, energy, and entertainment products. He was co-founder and president of F&M Manufacturing. After selling his company to General Dynamics in 1999, he stayed on as president of General Dynamics Robotics Systems until his retirement in 2007. Scott was lured back to the corporate world in 2008. Next is David Sudeth, Administrative Director of Finance and Government Affairs, Bon Secours St. Francis Health System. Mayor Pro Tem and Chairman of the Finance and Administrative Committee, Greenville City Council. David is a graduate of Clemson University with a BS degree in Financial Management and an MBA, which we're very proud of. He has been with Bon Secours St. Francis Health System since 1996, earning the designation of Fellow with the Healthcare Financial Management Association. His corporate responsibilities include budgeting, cost accounting, project management, long-range forecasting, service line reporting, productivity, and government affairs. He was elected to Greenville City Council in 2005, where he continues to serve. Finally, Beth Veach, career transition and business coach, the entrepreneur's source. Beth has been an investment broker, served as executive director of the Downtown Burlington VT Development Association, founded CruiserWorks LLC, which she built to national brand status, and now assists others in determining if business ownership is right for them. She is a graduate of Norwich University, the oldest private military school in the U.S., is a recipient of the university's Distinguished Alumni Award, and currently serves on the board of trustees. So let's give a round of applause to all of you. So here's how the competition works. Tonight's presentations will showcase a diverse array of business ideas that represent the breadth of enterprises in South Carolina in both for-profit and not-for-profit sectors, including technology, medicine, tourism, retail, automotive, and more. This group represents the first cohort of the Clemson MBA in Entrepreneurship and Innovation program. This three-part competition is the culmination of a year in study with $40,000 in prize money awarded over these three competitions. And I think it's safe to say that these students are all trying really hard to win a share of that money. In the first round of competition this evening, each student or teams will present their idea in 3 minutes or less. Because of the diversity of ideas, the judges will be ranking them on a scale of 1 to 10 on 3 simple criteria. First is quality of presentation. That's just, is it professionally presented? Did they do a professional job, and is it clearly articulated? The second is viability and practicality of the idea. Can this idea be implemented? Can it succeed? Finally is the potential impact of the idea, which could be from a revenue potential standpoint or in terms of its impact on society, or possibly both. After the first round, we'll tabulate the scores, and the top 5 highest scoring presenters will advance to the second round, where they will have 1 minute to recap their idea, and then 7 minutes of questions and answers from the judges. In the event of a tie, the first round, we will potentially have more than 5 contestants advancing to round 2, which actually happened last week in Atlanta, where we had 6 finalists. After all the finalists have answered questions, the judges will retire and confer collectively to decide who will be awarded first, second, and third place. The cash awards for the winners are $20,000 for first place, $6,000 for second place, and $4,000 for third place. We randomly drew names to determine the order of tonight's presentations. So, will the first presenter please take the stage? It's time to begin.
Seafood gumbo, just really good home-cooked meals at home. When we were just talking about this when I was home at Easter, my sister was talking again about how she lost her cookbooks in Hurricane Katrina and how upsetting it was to her. And if you're a cook, you probably understand that. Because when you cook, you put those little notes your grandmother gave you in your cookbook. And when you lose that, you feel like you've lost something big. That's what inspired me to start the Vintage Supper. It's an online app and website that allows you to capture your recipes and memories and sell those recipes online in a cookbook format. So when I got back to Greenville, I started to research what does the industry look like. And 66 to 88 million people visit food websites every month. In addition, the iPads are growing and people are using those more in the kitchen. And that is, the people buying those iPads are the most coveted marketing group there is. Additionally, cookbook sales were up by 6% last year, while overall hard copy books were down. And most importantly, several surveys show the advantage of families eating together and having a home-cooked meal. What is the competitive situation? Well, there are a lot of food apps out there and there's a lot of food websites. Only one allows you to sell recipes and cookbooks online, and none of them allow you to go into a hard copy cookbook in an easy online format. These websites have various features that I'm currently going through and trying to decide what I want in mind. There are 3 areas I'm looking at. 1, I want to connect the people. Secondly, I want to capture the memories and the recipes. And 3, I want to educate. And educate can be from the nutritional value to, in the long run, just the history of food and how we eat today versus how we ate before. What are my key financials? In the second year, I'll actually show a profit. But unfortunately, nobody gets a salary in the second year. So in the third year, while I'm making more money, we actually get paid some money. What is my revenue streams? The pie is broken up like this. We have hard copy and soft copy cookbooks, and we also have advertising and a premium that we will get. There are other websites out there. I'm not planning on exiting soon, but all recipes sold for $175 million after 15 years, and Punchfork sold after 2 years to Pinterest. Growth is very important. So I intend to use various techniques that I would love to share with you during the next stage about how I intend to grow this business. And I have a great and dynamic team. Thank you.
I've spent my entire life in healthcare, that meaning inside the walls of these hospitals. Both of my parents were physicians, and then I went into a stint as a legal drug dealer. And what I saw was a lot of chronic conditions, hypertension, diabetes, stroke. And one of the biggest underlying causes of that, of course, is obesity. Obesity has continued to grow in our country year after year. And it's grown to the cost of $147 billion spent on these chronic conditions related to obesity. So while I don't have a magic pill, we'd all be millionaires if I did, I have FitSteps, which is a healthy way to help individuals step in a healthy direction. So to illustrate this, think of yourself in a foreign country. You can't understand the language. You see signs that you can't read. That's oftentimes what people see when they look at a menu. They don't know what these calories mean. So my solution is FitSteps. It's what I've coined the Rosetta Stone for calorie comprehension. It changes it into a language that's very easy to understand for any person. So you look at this and you're ordering, are you really going to walk 8.5 miles to burn off that chicken finger and fries? Is it really worth it? I don't know. So the studies show that visual cues actually equate to choosing 200 to 400 calories less than you would without seeing something. So let's go back to that menu. You still don't know what those calories are. So our goal is to get steps on these menus. And while that might be a lofty goal, we're taking advantage of this subliminal messaging with our business model. So it comes in 3 phases. Initially, we are working with hospitals because maybe the restaurants aren't so apt to let us in, but hospital cafeterias are. They are interested in the health of their employees as well as the health of the communities that they serve. So we are already inside of these hospitals, and you can follow us with the hashtag of #FitSteps. And then we will move to the digital health program if we're accepted at the Iron Yard in Spartanburg. We're moving to the Digital Health Accelerator to push the mobile app as well as software that supports the research. And then with plans to incorporate community initiatives in phase 3 in the spring to include places like Subway or other community sponsors to sponsor walking events to get downtown areas, have more people go to downtown areas. We feel like this can be replicated in other downtown areas like Atlanta, New York, or Chicago. We are taking advantage of the trends in e-health tracking. I myself wear the Fitbit. I know some of my classmates wear the Nike Fuel Band, and there are currently RFID parks like Riverfront Park in Columbia, who is also a member of my advisory team, Jim Stritzinger. So our team is very passionate about healthcare, about health literacy. We ask for your support to change the way of the nation, one fit step at a time. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Did you know that in the next 5 years, 80% of the jobs will require a background in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math? Did you also know that many girls lack the confidence to pursue STEAM subjects in school and as a career? Hello, my name is Melissa Martin. I'm the founder of the Epicenter, a social enterprise that revolves around science, technology, engineering, arts, mentorship and approach, and project-based enrichment for girls. Okay, to illustrate the need for the Epicenter, I'd like to give you some personal background. Growing up, I loved math and science. In fact, I even tested into a science and math magnet school, high school, but I shied away from the high-pressure program and I gravitated toward the liberal arts. And I'm not alone. My research during the Clemson MBA program has shown me that, even now, many girls lack the confidence to pursue STEM careers. I'd like to talk about 80% versus 10%. By 2018, 80% of the jobs will require a strong STEAM background, yet the South Carolina Coalition for Math and Science reports that only 10% of girls are ready for a STEAM career. This is mirrored by a national deficit whereby only 24% of women work in a STEAM field. My mentor, Sarita Acker of Clemson's Project WISE, or Women in Science and Engineering, strongly believes that girls can succeed in areas such as science and math, yet we must incorporate more of the arts and a mentorship approach in order to win over more girls. So this is my team. Sarita Acker, author and director of Project WISE, Michael Mino, engineer and successful businessman, and myself, a teacher and a Clemson MBA candidate. Together, we believe that Greenville is the perfect place in which to have the STEM Enrichment Center known as the Epicenter. Currently, we're in the process of raising $173,600 in order to, and we want female STEAM professionals to be involved with implementing the Epicenter and also mentoring our K-12 girls. Also, we have approached It's not shown here, but there's a slide with a location. We have approached the state of South Carolina to donate this to the epicenter. And that's the epicenter. We are impacting girls' self-esteem and radiating out into the community. We greatly appreciate your support, and thank you for your time.
Hello everyone, my name is Chip Adams and I'm with Cerebellum Designs. We are a cycling technology company that produces the world's first ever bicycle cyclometer with rear view technology, the Hindsight 35 that I have right here. This is a company founded on the principles of advocating for cycling safety and awareness. The product's inventor, Evan Salita, was involved in a severe cycling accident, and this prompted him to create a device that would give more safety to riders. I, along with several others, interviewed with a group of the company's investors for the opportunity to join Cerebellum to help sell and market the device. Shortly after the first of this year, I was selected for the position and given an equity stake to join the company. Current statistics indicate that there are nearly 40 million bicycles in use in the United States, and we feel that roughly 9 million of these riders are road bikers that fit our target market for this device. For these riders, cycling can be very dangerous, and in 2011 alone, there were over 670 deaths as a result of the sport. In almost every case, road bikers ride with cars approaching them from behind, and it's impossible to see these vehicles while on the bike. Riders may stop, swerve, or make a turn and enter the path of the oncoming vehicle, causing an accident. Evan's solution was to invent a device that would give cyclists a complete range of vision. The Hindsight 35 has a 3.5-inch screen that mounts on the bike's handlebars and a camera that goes on the seat post. This head unit displays a live rear-view video feed as well as 7 main cyclometer functions. It has the wireless technology to sync with heart rate monitors or other instruments, and some patent-pending black box functionality that allows it to capture and record video in the event of an accident. Where are we now? We've produced 800 units and sold 400 of them at a $329 price point, good for about a 60% margin. We've experienced some of the manufacturing issues common to startups like our own, and are resolving these as we work on developing a second generation of the device. Our plan is to sell the remaining 400 units in inventory and use that cash infusion to complete second generation development and to include GPS in the units. All in all, there's demand here for this product. So why are we doing what we're doing? I want to tell you the story of a customer I've met during my time working with Cerebellum. Jerry Smith is an avid cyclist who broke both of his wrists in an accident a couple years ago, and he hasn't been willing to get back on his bike since. Jerry expressed to me that the first thing to give him the courage to get back on his bike and doing what he loves is the Hindsight 35. And these are the stories that drive us to do what we do. In the end, we can prevent accidents, and ultimately we can save lives, and that's our true impact. We can give riders more confidence and better data, and there's a huge revenue opportunity with the GPS unit. I want to invite you all to check out our website at cerebellum.com, and I thank you so much for your time this evening.
Hey, my name is Ben Maycock, and my business is Creative Digital Ads, an indoor, ad-based digital signage network that's putting local ads in local places. So imagine with me for a minute that you own a small business like Spill the Beans. And like any small, localized company, you need to advertise, right? So you take a look at your options. But local advertising is inflexible and expensive. It can take weeks to change ads on a billboard, and it may cost thousands of dollars to advertise in a magazine just to reach a few people. But the fact is that $3 billion a year is spent on local advertising when sometimes the options are as uninspiring and unimaginative as those. So for a local company, they need a few things. They need advertising that's more impactful, reaches more people. They need advertising that's flexible, something that can be changed quickly. They need advertising that's fast, something that can be put up quickly. And most importantly, they need local advertising. I believe Creative Digital Ads has a solution to the small businesses' advertising problems. We're creating a dense network of digital signage in cities, starting with Greenville, by putting screens in places where people spend time. Coffee shops, restaurants, the doctor's office, the pharmacy. We're starting off with 950 screens across the upstate. They'll be placed on checkout counters and waiting areas across the upstate. They'll be networked, so we'll be able to update content remotely within minutes. It'll be the fastest way to get our customers' ads across a huge network in the upstate. So how does it work? We do two things. We find advertisers on one hand who pay, and we find hosts. For example, the Greenville Chamber of Commerce is hosting one of our screens. In return for that, what they get is a free ad on another screen of their choice. So what have we done so far? We're finalizing a deal with Michelin Development for 950 screens. I've already done 40 ad campaigns. I have testing locations lined up. I have happy customers that keep asking me when I'm putting up new screens. And I have new customers that have just signed up with me, and as well as an advisor that understands software, digital signage software. He owns one of the largest digital signage software companies in the Southeast. So with 11 screens, I was able to test the concept over the last year while a full-time student. And I was able to average $900 per month in sales with minimal sales effort at 80% margin. I also recently found about 20 hosts in 4 days. This would have a huge impact for advertisers, creating over 1.4 million views per month over this huge network. It's inexpensive at only $7 per month per screen to advertise. So by 2014, we expect to have all 950 screens up. And the screens cost about $50, paid in the form of a loan over the course of a year, but we get all the screens up front. So it's a great deal. We can make $35 per month per screen, so $33,250 per month. So to summarize, local businesses and events need local advertising. They could either go the traditional routes that are inflexible and expensive, or they could go with creative digital ads and create over 1.4 million impressions per month over a huge network of signage where their local customers are going to be. What we're doing is putting local ads in local places. Thank you for your time.
Looking at the Poinsett Hotel in downtown Greenville today makes it hard to imagine that just over 10 years ago it had broken windows and boarded up doors, and there was even rumors that it was haunted. Now, in just a short time, with the community support, the right leaders, and a vision, Greenville has become a destination town. My name is Tara Chowdhury, and me and my sister have worked to grow our business, Our Motivation for Change. It was founded to promote arts and entertainment in local communities, and now we want to change how communities work together to support local businesses through events. We have volunteered and worked with organizations in our communities in the Southeast and the Midwest, and our extended network has led us to an exciting opportunity in Greer, South Carolina and Lafayette, Indiana. In the past, we have worked with other historic venues such as the Lafayette Theater in Lafayette, Indiana, to bring national music acts, craft fairs, bridal shows, and other types of community events that has given us the experience that we need to run a successful business. There's an art gallery right down the street in Lafayette, Indiana, that has a space for rent upstairs. It's a 4,300 square foot space with enough space for a catering kitchen and office. It can fit 200 to 300 people, and the owner has received grants and is willing to put $200,000 of renovations to our specifications. He's also willing to give us a discounted rent for 3 years. The building dates back to the 1800s, and it was used as a gathering space, and we want to keep the name Carnahan Hall as it was used in the past. So why do we feel that Lafayette is a good place to start? Well, we've been given this great opportunity. We're taking on less risk because we're not buying the building, and it will be a great learning experience. Purdue University is also just across the bridge, and they have a large community of students and faculty with organizations that often host events. We plan to open by the end of 2014. We plan to open by the end of 2014 a more permanent location in Greer, South Carolina. There is a trend of population growth. It's growing about 5,000 people per year. There are historic buildings that we feel that we can receive grants for, and events are becoming more popular in the area. I can see a lot of similarities in Greer as I've seen in Greenville as I've watched the revitalization go on. So how do we plan to make money? Well, we want to host at least 15 events per month in our Lafayette, Indiana location with an average of $1,200 per event. In the second year, we would like to increase those events in Lafayette to 25 per year at an average of 1,500. At the end of year 2, we would like to have our second venue open in Greer, South Carolina, and we want to have at least 20 events per month at about $1,000 for each event. Our team is a young, energetic team that has experience with marketing, customer service, service industry, and sound engineering. The history of small towns runs deep, and we are motivated to make a change by uniting communities through while preserving our historic events. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Lance Putnam, and this is my company, Palladium Positioning. This is a picture of a premature baby. And like other babies in the NICU, he is vulnerable and needs protection and support. These babies are not yet fully developed and cannot handle all the stimulation of their new environment. But if positioned properly, like he used to be, it can help to avoid problems such as positional deformities and developmental delays. Going in the NICU and seeing what these fragile babies go through is really heart-wrenching. And that's what led me to Palladium Positioning. So the problem is that there are not enough positioning options within the industry. Current ones by these competitors do not offer the proper and varied positioning that